All right, what's happening, y'all? What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's good? What's good? What's good? I got some all 22 footage of our boy now, newly signed Andrew Wylie from the Chiefs Super Bowl game. He's the starting right tackle. Had one of the best blocking performances you'll ever see in a Super Bowl as well. So I decided, let me just go ahead and throw that footage up there while we're chilling. Actually, let me move this to the side a little bit so you can see him a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Bet. So, yeah, this is just Andrew Wylie, but I'm super excited, man. I'm only going to stream for probably like 30 minutes real quick, but I just wanted to get everybody's live reactions to everything. I'm going to give y'all my opinions as well. Y'all can ask whatever question you may have. What's good, Chris Walden? What's good? Yes, sir. Man, my main thing is that we're getting started early, man. My biggest thing is that we just sit around. People are always making jokes about Ron Rivera being frozen and things like that. We're actually making moves early and smart moves. We didn't sign the best tackle. We didn't sign the best guard or center. We signed guys that are upgrades to what we had from last year. So we're helping Sam Howell, and we're not paying them crazy money to do it. It's well within our means. Remember, us going from franchise tagging Daron Payne to signing him long term saved us $9 million worth of cap space this season. So we were like, all right, we might as well go ahead and spend that on some offensive alignment. We went ahead and paid Danny Johnson a nice little team-friendly 2-year deal as well. That's probably only going to be like maybe a $1.5 million cap hit per season. Sorry. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. Nick Gates, Andrew Wylie, let's get it. Super excited. Oh, now they got Andrew Wylie over here, so I got to move it back. I guess I'll try to keep it centered. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Andrew Wylie's the right tackle. We're just going to have that on repeat while we're talking today. Again, I'm only live streaming for like 30 minutes. But my main things are, of course, we signed good players. And we're going to dive into weaknesses and strengths. We're going to dive into how good these guys actually are and all of that. We'll get to that. But my main thing is that Ron Rivera is keeping his word. He said during the combine that he wanted to fill as many needs as he can in the offseason and free agency. So by the time we get to the draft, we're doing what we want to do and not what we have to do. We're drafting based on best player available and not just, oh man, we need offensive lineman. Let's panic and take one right now, even though he may not be the best offensive lineman available at the time or the best player available, period. So now that we filled in O-line, we'll probably try to bring in a linebacker. I'm hoping David Long is my favorite linebacker out there as far as value goes. Tremaine Edmonds is the best linebacker, period, available, but I feel like he's probably outside of our money range. So I think David Long is our best option as far as like we're going to get like a tier 2 guy. He's as great as tier 2 gets. I'm literally working on a video right now on why we need to sign David Long at linebacker. But going back to my main point, you fix offensive line, say we get David Long at linebacker, and then maybe we sign like a DB. Now when we go to the draft, we have no clear weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So now we can draft whoever's the best player available. When we get there at 16, if Christian Gonzalez is there, take him. Or if for any reason we fix corner in free agency, which I don't really see happening because there's not a lot of great corners out there other than like Jamel Dean. I would love to get him. But besides him, really, I don't really see us fixing corner. But say somehow we do. We get to the draft, even though we just signed Andrew Wylie and Nick Gates. If you want to go Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson, Darnell Wright, or one of those guys, and you start grooming them to be your franchise left tackle of the future, you can start doing that. So it's a lot of options, man. We have a lot of options. I don't know about y'all. I know Atlanta be saying we having options around here, man. Plenty of options, and I'm really excited, man. When we get to the draft again, most importantly, we're gonna be doing what we want to do, not what we have to do. What's good? Samuel was good. Love it. Solidify the offensive line. I mean, I feel like at the very least, say whatever you want to say, this offensive line is definitely better than the one we had last year. And don't forget about Chris Paul at left guard. I'm pretty sure he's going to compete to start there, and I'm really excited about that. What's good, Devon? Todd, what's good? Appreciate you just subscribing. Thank you. What's up, Rico? Happy free agency day. I'm happy with all the moves so far. Lamar might happen. That is potentially a thing. Happy we're making good moves. We'll love a good linebacker. Exactly. I give these two signings a B+. Exactly. Literally like a B+. Not home run hitters, but our team is definitely better today than it was yesterday. And I'm really excited about that. Sam Howell should be able to make something work behind this. And again, from the footage you're seeing on the screen, Andrew Wylie at right tackle in the Super Bowl against one of the best D-lines in football is literally better than anything we got from Samuel Cosmi or Cornelius Lucas at any point last year. Like, Andrew Wylie's performance against the Eagles, again, one of the best D-lines in football, in the Super Bowl, is better than Samuel Cosmi or Cornelius Lucas's best day last season. So I'm really excited. Mitchell Schwartz even tweeted out that days ago, even before we signed Andrew Wylie, days ago, said that the most underrated player on the Chiefs is Andrew Wylie. He was asked to do a lot of things that he should have been asked to do, so a lot of his statistics look a little crazy because of that. Andrew Schwartz was basically saying, like, don't sleep on Andrew Wylie, most underrated player on the Chiefs. It makes a lot of sense too, because Eric Bieniemy is our new offensive coordinator, and he's a little bit more than that. He's literally the assistant head coach. He's like right under Jack Del Rio. He probably has more say-so than even Jack Del Rio right now. And so, of course, he's going to try to bring his guys over. We're bringing over Marcus Kemp as a special teamer to compete with Cam Sims. Maybe we keep both, but maybe he's a Cam Sims replacement. We bring over Andrew Wylie, who was his right tackle, his starting right tackle from last season for the Chiefs on the Super Bowl run. So I'm excited, man, because Ron moving like his seat is on fire. Hey, man, yeah, hey, Ron better act right. He looks like he is. He knows that he definitely on that hot seat. For sure on that hot seat. But yeah, man, I just want to know how everybody's feeling about it. Of course, if you have any questions, I could break down how I feel about it. I already gave my general synopsis, but I definitely want to know how y'all feel. Again, I'm only live streaming for like a quick 30 minutes, so I'm probably going to be out of here by like 4. But let me know how y'all feeling about this whole thing, man, because I'm super excited, man. I'm so happy we did this, man. I'm so excited. I didn't think it would be possible. I didn't think we were going to make moves like this. Again, especially this soon. Y'all know we wait till like a weekend to finally start signing some random guys. The Bobby McCains, the Charles Lenos, the Logan Thomases, the J.D. McKissicks, and of which all of them have had good moments. And you can argue some of them have had better seasons than the others. But at the end of the day, it's nice to go day one. Tampering, right? Like the Commanders signing outside free agents during the tampering period is crazy. Because we be hoping that we sign a guy the first day of free agency, which is Wednesday. We out here signing guys during the tampering period immediately before dinner even started. Like, this is new. This is a new Rivera, man. I'm so excited. And again, my main takeaway, I'm going to keep repeating myself over and over again this offseason. This live stream throughout videos this offseason, all the way up through the draft, probably even past the draft. My favorite thing about all of this, and my favorite thing that Ron Rivera has ever said or promised, is that he wanted to address as many needs in free agency. So by the time we get to the draft, we're drafting who we want to draft and not who we need to draft, which means we're going best player available as often as possible. And I'm so excited about that, man, because I think best player available is the way to go. That's the way to go, period. What's good, King Sean? Hey, man, appreciate you watching the vid. Yes, sir. Have you seen the report that we're interested in Ekeler? I did not see that. That's news to me. Let me type that in right now. Washington Commanders, Austin Ekeler. We do technically need a pure third down back. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not seeing anything about us being interested in him, but I just think he'd be too expensive. I think that's too much. I think we can address third down back like 5th, 6th, 7th round. But that would be fun. But I just don't think that's necessary. We need to save that type of money and spend it on linebacker for sure. Offensive line much better than last year. We really step up to the plate today, big time. Who was the other guy? We signed Nick Gates as well. We signed Nick Gates from the Giants. And, my main takeaway is by how many Giants fans are actually a little upset about losing him. Granted, he was a starting offensive lineman, for the most part, a starting left guard, at times starting center for one of the worst O-lines in football last year. So we gotta, you gotta look at this from an objective view. But from what I've seen on tape, I like him. I like his attitude. He was the one fighting Aaron Donald that one time. Like literally pulling helmets and throwing fists, like as if like hitting somebody in the helmet with your fist doesn't do more damage to your fist than your helmet. But I love the attitude. I love the aggression and things like that. But a lot of Giants fans, when you go look at the tweet when it was first announced by, I believe, Mike Garafolo or one of those guys, that we were signing them, Giants fans were actually a little disappointed. Like, they actually will miss this guy. And a lot of Giants fans feel like it wasn't his fault that they had one of the worst O-lines in football last season. So I'm really excited. And at the very least, we're not even necessarily bringing him in to start, I don't think. He has the chance to, but I think Chris Paul is going to compete for that left guard spot. Chase Roulier is obviously our starting center week 1, but nobody's depending on him to play all season. So I feel like Nick Gates at the very least is basically like a cheaper, higher ceiling Wes Schweitzer. And at the very least, better than Nick Martin at center. Better than Andrew Norwell at guard. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's a win-win. We got him for very cheap. We got Andrew Wylie for a pretty good contract. It's a win-win for both sides as well. It's cheap for a starting right tackle, in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes. Can you see Levante David or Lamar? I don't. It would be lovely, but I don't see it. But yeah, I'm seeing multiple people saying that we have interest in Austin Ekeler. That's interesting. That's a new one. That's a new one right there. I would be really excited about that. The only problem is, again, what kind of money does he want? I don't think we have that type of money to just throw around, especially since we still need to figure out linebacker. Again, my favorite linebacker available is David Long, value-wise. Tremaine Edmonds is easily, not even close, the best linebacker available in free agency, in my opinion. I love Bobby Wagner. I like Eric Kendricks from the Vikings and things like that. They're both really good, but they're getting up there in age. If you want to draft a potential franchise sign a potential franchise Pro Bowl linebacker that can be at the top of his game in his prime for at the very least the next 3-4 years, Tremaine Edmonds is the best linebacker available. But at the same time, I really love David Long from the Titans. As far as value, you could probably get him for maybe like $5-6 million a year. I would love to do that. I don't think y'all understand how good David Long is and how much dirty work he was doing for the Titans, man. He made a lot of people around him better because of how well he played. But yeah, it's saying Jeff Simon of ESPN reports that the Commanders are one of the teams with interest in Chargers star running back Austin Ekeler. The deal and expects a deal to be done within the next 3 days. That is crazy, man. I'm scared. There's a lot going on. Commanders are being very aggressive. You know, we're normally one of those teams that's just sitting there like, okay, all of these teams are making moves. Y'all know y'all saw the 49ers sign Javon Hargrave. That was a great move. So we're normally one of those teams that's on the sideline like waiting, is our team going to do anything? And our team has not only made one move, but we made multiple, including, don't forget, Daron Payne long-term was a big deal. We literally went from him being franchise tagged and, we know as Redskins football team and Commanders fans what a franchise tag looks like and how guys never sign a long-term deal afterwards. Not only did we break that curse, but we saved $9 million in cap space in 2023 from going from the franchise tag to sign them to a long-term deal. We're gonna owe him a lot of money later on down the line, starting next year, 2024 and beyond. But 2023, we literally gained $9 million worth of cap space signing Daron Payne all that money. It's insane. We're actually doing like the crazy contract maneuvers and finesses that other teams normally do, and we're just looking like, why can't we do that? We haven't done any restructures yet, and I definitely feel like we need to find a way to restructure Chase Young and Logan Thomas to get some cap space back from them. But so far, we've made smart signings early. I'm really excited, man. I think this is going to be a great offseason and a great season, man. As long as Sam Howell does what he has to do, we're going to ball out, because I've been saying it, man, and I don't feel like it's that smart of an idea. I feel like it's fairly obvious, but for those people that don't necessarily know, man, a quarterback on a rookie deal is your best window for winning a Super Bowl. That's why the Chiefs did it so fast with Pat Mahomes. That's why the Eagles were able to go to the Super Bowl like they just did. They didn't win it, but they were able to go, and they were really close to winning it, because you're able to pay all of these other positions so much money and get top tier guys. They traded for guys. They signed guys left and right, top vets. A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick, Gardner Johnson, James Bradbury, like they were able to pay all of those guys because Jalen Hurts was basically getting paid pennies. And then Sam Howell was drafted in the 5th round, so he's getting paid even less than Jalen Hurts. So Sam Howell doesn't even have to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback. Just be top half of the league. Give me top 15, top 16, and then we're able to pay all of the guys that we need to fix all of the holes we have on the team, and we can go to the Super Bowl, I believe, as well. At the very least, be strong playoff contenders. So I'm really excited about this upcoming season. We're making good moves, smart moves, because also one thing we got to notice, we didn't overpay. We didn't overpay for Andrew Wylie or Nick Gates. We gave them actually fairly team-friendly deals. If you're talking about a potential starting right tackle, maximum $8 million a year is actually really cheap for that, and it's probably going to end up being less than that because that's like all of the incentives included. He may only be like a $5 million cap hit. Nick Gates $3 million, and a really even cheaper deal. Again, a deal similar to Wes Schweitzer, where he's probably only going to be like a $2 to $3 million cap hit, maximum for a year. Those are great gets right there from those guys. So I'm really excited. How do y'all feel about the projected starting offensive line? If you had to guess today, what's the starting offensive line for the Commanders going into the 2023 season? If I had to guess today, I'm going to give two. I'm going to give most likely, most realistic. I'm going to say Charles Leno left tackle, Nick Gates left guard, Chase Roullier center, Samuel Cosmi right guard, and then Andrew Wylie right tackle. But for me, best case scenario, everybody at their best, I think honestly, switch out Nick Gates at starting left guard, make him basically your Wes Schweitzer, your backup interior offensive lineman. If there's an injury to left guard, center, or right guard, Nick Gates is ready to step in. And then you have Cornelius Lucas as your backup tackle. If there's an injury to Samuel Cosmi, Charles Leno, he's ready to step in. But I think Chris Paul at left guard, if he reaches his potential and looks just like how he looked against the Cowboys, if anything, only gets better because he has an entire offseason actually being given a legitimate chance to start at left guard rather than, last season we went into the season knowing he's a 7th round pick. We'll let him go out there and practice and things like that. But he doesn't have an honest chance to really start. So I'm really excited about Chris Paul potentially starting at left guard for us. Because if you go back and look at that tape against the Cowboys, that last game of the season, he was great. He looked better than Andrew Norwell and Trey Turner combined against the Cowboys. And so I'm really excited about Chris Paul potentially starting at left guard. Wait, I don't know what's going on with this Austin Ekeler stuff, man. I'm really scared. But yeah, Chase Roullier and Logan Thomas need to take some pay cuts. They got to restructure their contracts because there's no reason they're out here eating up all of this cap space. Chase Roullier only playing half a season and Logan Thomas only giving us half himself throughout the entire season. Like, both of those guys are only giving us half of what we deserve. So how about you take half a pay cut, please? Both of y'all. We need this cap space, man. We need to make moves. Go get my boy David Long at linebacker. Again, best case scenario is Tremaine Edmonds. I just don't think it's going to happen. And now we're talking about Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler would be great. In a world with no cap space, I would love to get him. But I just can't imagine him taking up, not eating up a lot of cap space. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really see how we would end up getting him and he wouldn't eat up space we need to sign again David Long, or if you want a chance at Tremaine Edmonds. Once you sign Austin Ekeler, there's no way we have the cap space to even pick up the phone to try to call Tremaine Edmonds. So I like Austin Ekeler a lot, and I do feel like we do need a third down pass catching back, kinda like a pure one. We're going to have Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson balling out in the exact role that Isaiah Pacheco was doing for the Chiefs last year. And if anything, I feel like Antonio Gibson and Curtis Samuel are both more talented than Isaiah Pacheco. So I think they're going to be great. They're going to be all kinds of utility weapons, doing whatever out of the backfield, catching passes, running the ball from out of the all of that type of stuff. But it would be nice if we can get another J.D. McKissic type of guy, and that is a very specific role that Austin Ekeler does provide, but I think he's going to be too expensive, so I'm kind of good on that. Why use a number 2 receiver on the team on a special teams player doesn't make sense. Secondary, yes. Linebacker depth. Yeah, I think at this point, free agency with the offensive line, I wouldn't say solidified. Like, I'm not going to act like this offensive line is automatically top 10. But one thing I do know for sure is that this offensive line is better than it was last year, and I'm really happy about that. What's good, Jefferson? What's good, everybody that's pulled up? Make sure y'all leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it if you like the stream. We're just talking everything going on right now. Austin Ekeler rumors going around. Us signing Andrew Wylie, Nick Gates, and don't forget Danny Johnson too. We signed Danny Johnson to a really good 2-year deal. Let's just not play him in preseason, because every time we play him in preseason, he makes us panic as fans because he looks terrible. And so let's just wait until the regular season to throw Danny Johnson out there so he can look how he needs to look. Because for some reason in the preseason he's awful. Shouldn't even make the team. But then when it gets to the second half of the regular season and there's injuries to the secondary and we need him to step up, he steps up big time. DeJuan Jones at right tackle. Okay, so maybe DeJuan Jones if we trade back, or maybe in the second round. I can see that. Cosme, okay, at right guard. A new center. Okay, so not Chase Roulier. Okay. Gates, Norwell, Paul at left guard. Charles Leno at left tackle. That's solid too. Y'all know I'm a big Broderick Jones fan, but again, my main point is the thing that makes me the happiest about everything that we're doing so far, going ahead and getting Daron Payne re-signed long-term, signing Andrew Wylie and Nick Gates and Danny Johnson immediately, getting those out the way, is that, remember, Ron Rivera at the Combine said, we're going to do everything we can to fill as many needs as we can during the free agency period. So by the time we get to the draft, we're drafting best player available all draft. We're not reaching on a guy because we have a hole for that position on our team. No, we're drafting the best guy available. So, for example, if we, for some reason, end up somehow fixing corner in the offseason, which I don't really see happening, because other than Jamel Dean, I'm not really interested in this cornerback class in free agency. But if we somehow do, say we trade for somebody or something, we trade for a really good outside corner, because our offensive line is already shored up. Ron Rivera believes in this tight end group more than I do, but I feel like we do need to add some tight end talent. I would love my boy Darnell Washington, especially if we trade back or trade up in the second, something like that. But basically the point is, if we somehow go into the draft with no needs, even at corner, if for some reason that's fixed, the Commanders are going to be willing to take Christian Gonzalez at 16. Because if Christian Gonzalez is available at 16, he's best player available, I feel like hands down. Unless for some reason my boy Jalen Carter slides that far, because of the whole racing around after the championship and things like that. If my Georgia Bulldog Jalen Carter is available 16, that's the only way. Everybody else is there's no other way that Christian Gonzalez wouldn't be best player available at 16th overall, in my opinion. And we would be very likely to take him because offensive line is fixed for now. But I wouldn't be surprised if Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson Jr. or Darnell Wright is available at 16. They take them. All of the moves we've made so far, we just got to figure out linebacker right now. Again, go get David Long, in my opinion. Best value at linebacker. Tremaine Edmonds is the best linebacker available, but David Long on a per dollar basis is the best value in this free agency class, I feel like, easily. You go get him, and we're literally drafting best player available all throughout the draft, and that's how you end up becoming a Super Bowl contender. Because instead of drafting a bunch of average mid guys because you have needs for those, in the draft, you're drafting the best player available, and even if you're already deep at that position, go deeper. And now, even if we already have great offensive linemen, if for some reason Broderick Jones or one of those guys is available, now you draft Broderick Jones and you're grooming him to be your franchise left tackle, and you can move on from Charles Leno after this season if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Or you can already go ahead and start throwing them out there, and maybe Andrew Wylie is your backup right guard tackle type of thing, and he's just basically a way better Cornelius Lucas swing tackle backup in case there's an injury. So either way, man, I think you go someone is at the front door. Oh, somebody's at the front door. You go best player available first round. I don't care what it is. But I think at this point as well, because all of your needs are shored up, I think you're far more likely to trade back now. Because unless Christian Gonzalez or some ridiculous talent slides to 16, you might as well trade back. And I would love to trade back and end up getting Darnell Washington late in the first. I feel like that's a home run draft. And that would be, I don't even care about the rest of the offseason at that point. You sign this free agency class that we have, plus David Long at linebacker, and you get Darnell Washington late in the first. I don't even care about the rest of the offseason. We won. I don't care what grades anybody else gives us from different articles and analysts and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. So I can't. Yeah, somebody's at the door right now, but they're not playing with me, man. Alexa made sure. I tried to talk over it too. I was trying to be all professional and talk over it. Alexa was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna get louder than you. You gonna know somebody at this front door right now." So I'm sorry for that. Now there's apparently some dumb music being played. I don't know what's going on in this house right now. But yeah, but I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. He says, stop, we just signed Orlando Brown. Where you see that? I don't think we're going to do that. He's going to cost too much money. I doubt it. There's no way we pay Orlando Brown, right? There's no way we have enough money for him. That man's trying to get like 20 mil a year. Do we even have that in cap space right now? Definitely a troll. But yeah, man, I just wanted to stream for a quick 30 minutes. quick little 30 minutes. I'm gonna dip out probably at like 4. I'll probably stay a little bit longer. We'll see. But the Austin Ekeler thing is really interesting. I'm really intrigued by that. I'm really again, just like the Orlando Brown thing, we don't have the cap space for that, but it's interesting that we're even interested in that, because if anything, that just shows we're going to prioritize that going into the draft. Don't be surprised if we end up taking one of the best third down, pass catching, route running backs in the draft, because if they're interested in Austin Ekeler, that must mean they feel like it's a severe need, because Austin Ekeler is a great player. And again, I just feel like he's too good in a way, because I feel like he's going to cost us way too much money. So I don't see that happening, but I may do a video covering that. We'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited. Expecting a playoff win this year from Ron. I am too at this point. Would you bring in Matt Stafford? Nah, even as a Georgia Bulldog fan, nah, I'm good. That's too much. Go ahead and let Sam Howell have it. If he doesn't work out, do whatever you got to do to get Caleb Williams or something like that. So we'll see how this goes. I'm really excited about these signings, though. Let's get it. Being a dynamic offense doesn't exclude being a physical one, too. Darnell Washington with these 2 new offensive linemen and Brian Robinson. Exactly. Nobody can stop us from running the ball with that combination. Darnell Washington, these offensive linemen we just signed with Brian Robinson, nobody can stop that run. There's no personnel, there's no defense you can throw out there that can stop that run, because you still got to worry about Sam Howell using his legs. You still got to worry about the most underrated receiving core in the NFL getting open on you. So you can't go out there and just stack the box. So Darnell Washington out there leading the way for Brian Robinson is a scary sight for any team, for any NFL team. I'm not afraid of running for 150 yards versus anybody. I think we could do that against anybody with that combination. Rashawn Johnson over AE. He's going to be there late. Have 2 power backs. Interesting. You see on Twitter that Bezos signed an NDA, looking more likely he'll be the owner. Yeah, I saw that. He signed a non-disclosure agreement. I was going to wait to report on that until I got more information on it, but I'm glad that you brought it up. So for those of y'all who may not know, it's been reported that Jeff Bezos has signed a non-disclosure agreement, and some of the owners, like Josh Harris, that combination with him and Mitchell Rails, they're still in it. But somebody else, an unknown owner that placed a bid that we don't exactly know who it is, but they're starting to drop out from the running. So that does sound more like Jeff Bezos is probably buying the team, because they're probably like, oh yeah, if he's involved, they must know something we don't as fans. So they're probably like, if Jeff Bezos is involved, if Harris and Rails have this crazy combination of $1 billion, I might as well just go ahead and drop out, because I have no chance. So some of the potential bidders for the Commanders are dropping out. So that sounds like things are hurrying up, and somebody's about to go ahead and get it. Oh, wow. Tremaine Edmonds is going to the Bears. Oh, they not playing. The Bears do have infinite cap space. That's a great signing. Oh, that's a great signing. Oh, yeah. Can we please hurry up and get David Long before it's too late? Can we please go get David Long before it's too late? My boy A1 with the donation, man. Appreciate that. When is the last time we as fans have seen an offseason like this? It's smart and decent talent so far. Hey, man, I'm right with you. Appreciate the donation, man. This is crazy. Appreciate that, Detrail Wright, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying out here. Thank you again, A193, for show. I can't believe it. I think all of us are excited. It's hard for all of the Commanders fans to unite and agree on one thing, but I think everybody's generally excited about the moves we made so far. It's not necessarily home run hitters. Again, like somebody said earlier, I would give everything we've done so far B+, except for Daron Payne. I would give Daron Payne at the very least an A-, but these 2 offensive line signings, I give a B+. I give Danny Johnson like a B, because that's great value for how much he contributes to the game. I mean, he's technically your starting slot corner if you need him to be, making $1.5 million a year against the cap. Like, if anything, that might actually be more than a B+. That might be an A-, honestly. So we've made a lot of great smart moves so far. My boy Jay Willard, rookie sponsor, 8 months. Appreciate that big time. Great offseason so far. So let's sell this team now. If we can get the team sold as soon as possible, that would be amazing. I feel like at the very least, can we get a deadline before the draft? Give us like a week or 2 before the draft so the new owner can come in and strategize on what he wants to do draft wise. And I'm ready. I mean, we already have the strategy. We're filling in all of our needs in the offseason and free agency. We just need to go get David Long at linebacker, and then we can go to this draft and do best player available straight up. And I'm super excited about that. Appreciate that, Jay Willard, as well. Appreciate A1 and Jay Willard for everything y'all are doing, man. Appreciate that big time. Yeah, I want David Long real bad, man. I don't understand. Y'all don't understand, man. That's my favorite guy, especially with Tremaine Edmonds gone now. I already know we're not going to sign Bobby Wagner because he wants to go to a contender, even though I feel like getting Bobby Wagner would probably make us contenders, but people don't really look at it like that. Eric Kendricks would be nice as well, but I think David Long per money, because David Long's going to go for cheaper than Bobby Wagner and Eric Kendricks. So I'm definitely down to go get David Long for maybe like $5-6 million a year. He's your best linebacker on the team the day he shows up, in my opinion. I love Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis has a higher ceiling. David Long comes with a higher floor easily. And I'm a Cole Holcomb fan, but David Long is better than Cole Holcomb. If we could have all three, that would be beautiful. And remember, we re-signed Khaleke Hudson. He was a restricted free agent, so that was as good as done anyway. But we signed Khaleke Hudson to a really cheap one-year deal, so he's going to go out there and contribute. If Khaleke Hudson plays this upcoming season, how he played against the Cowboys the final game of this of the year last season, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. That will be 4 solid linebackers if you include David Long. I would be very happy with that linebacker group for sure. If Khaleke Hudson looks how he looked against the Cowboys, which is an optimistic glass half full way of looking at it, you can't expect that. You can't depend on that. Definitely don't go into the draft assuming that Khaleke Hudson is going to be good. But if he could be, and then you sign David Long, Cole Holcomb comes back healthy, and Jamin Davis just keeps on the same trajectory that he's been on, getting better every game, every week, this could be this. It could go from one of our weaknesses to one of our strengths. Again, I just think that highly of David Long. I think he's that good of a linebacker. I'm really excited. What's good, Winner? What's good? Take that. Welcome back, Winner. What's good, everybody that's pulling up? Just wanted to live stream real quick. I was gonna go till just 4 real quick, but I see a lot of people are in here, so we're gonna keep talking for a little bit. I'm really excited. Gates is a sneaky signing. That guy is a guy. I'm telling you, I'm seeing quite a few Giants fans disappointed that they let him go and that he went to a rival franchise. So that alone tells me everything I need to know, because usually when we sign guys from other teams, people laugh at us. Like the Bears laughed at us for Charles Leno, and Charles Leno ended up being better than what Bears fans said he was. So if Giants fans are sad about losing Nick Gates, that has to mean well for us. But I'm gonna go back and watch a lot of his tape again. If you don't know, we're looking at Andrew Wylie in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, one of the best defensive lines in football, and he did it on the brightest stage in the biggest moment and had his best game of his career. And I'm assuming, just based on that, if he's getting better and better and better, I feel like it's relatively safe to assume that he's going to be really good for us as well. Even if he doesn't look exactly how he looked in the Super Bowl, him at right tackle against one of the best D-lines in football in the biggest moment on the brightest stage is huge. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons we signed him. Without the Super Bowl, maybe we don't sign Andrew Wylie, but maybe that was just enough good tape right there. I mean, as you can see, he's manhandling everybody that tries to rush at him. Pat Mahomes didn't take a single sack in that Super Bowl against, again, one of the best D-lines in football. Those guys stepped up big time for their quarterback that was hurt that game too. Andrew Wylie was one of those guys. Again, I spoke about it earlier, but a lot of y'all weren't here yet. But Mitchell Schwartz spoke about, somebody asked him who was the most underrated player on the Chiefs, like days ago, before free agency, before we signed him. And he said Andrew Wylie. He said he was asked to do a lot of things that most tackles aren't asked to do. He had to do a lot of the dirty work for a lot of other people, and that's why his stats may not look as good. And so I'm really excited, man. Andrew Wylie, he won't have to come here and do all of that. I feel like ultimately this offensive line can be really good. I'm really excited because Eric Bieniemy is getting a lot of his former players. We'll probably bring over more. I wouldn't be surprised if we bring over my Georgia Bulldog, McCole Hardman, to be a pure punt returner for us and maybe like a gadget guy occasionally when we need it. But we already have Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson to be those guys that you don't know if they're running the ball or catching the ball any given play, basically like Isaiah Pachenko. So I'm really excited about those two. I think they're going to end up being better than Isaiah Pachenko. So I'm really excited about the potential of this team. Sam Howell, all you got to do is go out there on your rookie contract and ball out, and we're at the very least in the playoffs. Quarterbacks balling out on rookie contracts is how your Super Bowl window is wide open. That's how you go to the Super Bowl. That's how you potentially win Super Bowls. Sam Howell doesn't even have to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback. As long as he's good enough on a rookie contract, and because he's on a rookie contract, we have the money to improve all other positions around him, offensive line, defense, receivers, all of that. We should go far. So I'm really excited. This is a great day one. This is the best day one of free agency we've had in a long time. I can't even remember the last time we had a day one like this, so I'm really excited because usually we either overpay for somebody that doesn't deserve it, or we're waiting till like a week in the free agency and we're just doing bargain bin shopping. These guys like Andrew Wylie wasn't the best tackle available in free agency. Nick Gates wasn't the best center or guard available, but for the price that we're giving them, these are huge gets. And I feel like they're both tier 2. Maybe you could say Nick Gates is tier 3. But this isn't bargain bin shopping. Andrew Wylie is a starting right tackle, and again, just based on this tape alone, I mean, if for nothing else, if Andrew Wylie has his best games against the Eagles and that's all we need, at the very least, you're getting a Pro Bowl performance from this guy 2 games a season at the very least. If he is an Eagles killer, I'll take that at the very least for $8 million a year. And that's not even what his cap hit's going to be. His cap hit's probably only going to be like $5 or $6 million a year because it's the money that he's getting overall is not all guaranteed. It won't all be a cap hit. Just like when people saw that Daron Payne was technically going to get 20-something million a year, but that wasn't the guarantees. And now you look, his cap hit is only $10 million. So I'm assuming Andrew Wylie's contract is going to be somewhat similar to that, to where I can't wait. My boy Winner with the donation, man. Welcome back to the stream. Appreciate the donation as well. Appreciate that big time. I'm really excited, man. And just to let y'all know, Nick Gates is basically a Wes Schweitzer replacement. Spot Track is out of their mind talking about Wes Schweitzer. Market value is $14 million a year. That's a lie. But even so, I'm pretty sure the Commanders went ahead and brought in Nick Gates just in case if Wes Schweitzer doesn't want to re-sign for something super cheap. We'll probably just let Wes Schweitzer walk. I mean, the parallels between Nick Gates and Wes Schweitzer are insane. I forgot where I saw it, but somebody compared their height, their weight, the contracts that they got, the years, the money, and everything. It's almost exactly identical. He's literally our Wes Schweitzer replacement for interior offensive line, and he can start if we need him to. I feel like at the very least, he's better than what we got from Nick Martin at center after Chase Roulier got hurt, and I feel like he could be better than Andrew Norwell at left guard or Trey Turner at right guard or whatever. So I'm really excited. And Nick Gates has a ceiling to him. I feel like he's a cheaper and higher ceiling Wes Schweitzer, so I'm really excited, man. Really, really excited about that. Yeah, see, Andrew Wylie's deal is 3 years, $24 million. It's not going to be $8 million per year cap hit. It's going to be like 5 or 6 per year on that. So he's not eating up much at all, and we just potentially got a starting right tackle, so I'm excited. What am I seeing about Ryan Kelly? I'm hearing Austin Ekeler and Ryan Kelly. What's going on with that? Are we really interested in Ryan Kelly at center? Because if we are, that means Chase Roulier is gone. He's either getting severely restructured or we're just letting them go straight up. I am seeing that we are interested in Ryan Kelly. According to Sports Illustrated, I don't know what's going on, but apparently we are interested in Ryan Kelly. I don't know what's going on. Free agency is wild right now. My boy Washington Command Center pulled up. I got to see what he said. We still got a ton of moves we could make to free space and make big moves if we want. We have so many guys, contracts we can restructure easily. We can cut guys, whatever we want to do. Rico, I was doing research last night on Spot Tracker for Taylor Heineke, for instance, to average out top 5 starters for him. Back up. No, we're not bringing Taylor Heineke back for that money that Spot Tracker's talking about at all. I did a video on that months ago. There's no way. NFL going to show your local and main money-making teams. Apparently, we still have interest in Larson and Heineke, at least on NFL Network. Okay, I would bring back Tyler Larson for extremely cheap. Extremely. And I'm not bringing back Taylor Heineke unless he's extremely cheap as well. I'm not paying Taylor Heineke more than $3 million a year. I don't care. Me personally, I'm not paying Taylor Heineke more than $3 million a year. I mean, he's from Gwinnett, from the Atlanta metro area, and I want to root for him, but we got to spend money on line. We need linebackers. We need DBs. I'm sorry, I'm not spending too much money on Taylor Heineke to come in and be a backup quarterback. So, and I think he's going to end up, other teams are going to want him. They're going to value him more than we do. They're going to offer him a lot of money, and he's going to end up going somewhere else anyway. I would love to have Taylor Heineke on roster. Don't get me wrong, but Taylor Heineke for what is it 15 a year or something like that? It's something crazy like 10 a year. Like, nah, definitely not. 15.1K, bro. Luck, we moving up, bro. We making moves, man. Don't sleep on the channel, man. Don't sleep on the channel, man. I'm so excited. That man Deshaun Watson restructured his deal. It's a lot going on. Tremaine Edmonds to Chicago. I love that move, man. I'm so excited about Chicago being a great team. More so just because Justin Fields is from Atlanta and he played for the Georgia Bulldogs. Kinda. He's more Ohio State than Georgia Bulldogs, but still at the end of the day, born and raised Atlanta. I'm rooting for Justin Fields to be great. If not anything else, people acting like he was going to be a terrible quarterback, and he's showing people that he can ball out. So I'm excited for that as well. My boy A1 with another donation, man. What Martin has done with the cap between last season and this season is underrated. I agree. We're making good moves, man. Got to give him that. We got to give him that. Yeah, I saw something about Tremaine Edmonds to Chicago. My boy Washington Commenson, I saw that. Yeah, I want to go ahead and pay Kamren Curl long-term this offseason as well, because I feel like with the defense getting better, especially if we add some linebackers like my boy David Long that I really want, Kamren Curl's going to have a Pro Bowl level season type of thing. I think he already got a Pro Bowl vote this past season. Imagine if he stays healthy all season and then he's not out here having to do multiple jobs at once because everybody else is stepping up. Derek Forrest is better. Benjamin St. Juste is healthier. We draft Christian Gonzalez. We add David Long as a linebacker. Talking best case scenario stuff, but either way, Kamren Curl, just imagine he balls out this upcoming season. He's going to want to ask for way more money 2024 offseason than what he's asking for right now. So I would like to go ahead and get Kamren Curl done right now. Change my name from Ron Needs Cheeks Clap to Look at the end of your for real, Eric, be perfect for Sam. I'm really excited about what Eric Bieniemy is going to do. I haven't wanted a free agent so bad in years. Man, I've wanted Tremaine Edmonds since he was coming out of the draft. I'm right with you, Washington Command Center. The only thing was the money. But now with Tremaine Edmonds gone, David Long is my favorite linebacker, especially if we're talking about value, like on a per how much money he'll want compared to Bobby Wagner and Eric Kendricks. Please give me David Long. I feel like he would step in and be our best linebacker on roster day one. So I'm really excited about David Long. I think he'll go out there and ball out, honestly. Yeah, we were talking about Austin Ekeler a little bit earlier. I'm probably going to do a video on it. But yeah, this Austin Ekeler stuff is insane. I don't know what's going on. I mean, in a cap space free world where there's no cap space, I would love Austin Ekeler, but I feel like he's gonna ask for way too much money. And plus, I want to see Antonio Gibson finally used correctly, Curtis Samuel finally used correctly. So I think if they really want a third down back that bad, like a pure third down back, like a J.D. McKissic type of guy, they may just wait till 5th round or later in the draft. So Bears wouldn't pay Roquan, but they'll pay Edmonds and Edwards. See, that's what I thought too. I was like, okay, so you don't want Roquan, but you want Tremaine Edmonds, but Tremaine Edmonds is younger, so I can see that. But that is crazy. I thought that too. I was like, didn't y'all just let Roquan go? I thought y'all just didn't want good linebackers. I thought the whole thing was y'all don't want good linebackers, but apparently y'all do. So, hey, man, shouts out to the Bears, man. I hope they build something over there. Good job trading for DJ Moore with the trade back that they got. That was great. So now they have a certified #1 receiver, Tremaine Edmonds, improving their linebacker group. They just got to fix O-line, and Justin Fields should be ready to go, man. And their running backs got to stay healthy. Their running backs can't stay healthy to save their lives. They have good running backs, nice talents, but trust me, as a fantasy football player, a Bears running back don't last more than 4 games in a row. It don't matter who it is. The backup, the second string, or the third string, or the starter, it's so annoying, man. We need Wagner, Holcomb, draft cornerback in the first. Again, my favorite thing about us drafting these offensive linemen, signing these offensive linemen, especially as soon as we did, and I like these offensive linemen as well on the field wise, but most importantly, it allows us to go best player available in the draft. Ron Rivera said during the combine, he promised, and this is my favorite Ron Rivera quote and promise he's ever had. But he said that we're going to attack free agency in a way to where we fill all of our needs in free agency. So by the time we get to the draft, we're drafting who we want to draft and not who we need to draft. That's literally my favorite Ron Rivera quote by far. My favorite strategy he's ever had by far. I believe in best player available in the draft, especially if you make sure you fill all of your needs in free agency. That's what free agency is for. And then you get to the draft, you draft the best players that are available at your picks, and then you build a dynasty. I like Caden Ellis for agency saves linebacker too. I think he's a sleeper. I'm not really up on him that much, so you got me beat on that. But I really want David Long really bad. David Long would finish free agency for me. That'd be it for me. Anything after that would just be extra. We get David Long at linebacker, please. And I heard something about, I think John Com said it on this podcast, that we are interested in David Long. So I need to go ahead and record that video now. The Commanders are interested in David Long, Austin Ekeler, and Ryan Kelly. That's crazy. This is getting really interesting. Sorry, Rico. I'll be right back. Got to hear Big Payne. And I ain't mad, man. That boy Daron Payne going live. I should be there too. Hendon Hooker late in the draft, I can see that too. I did a mock draft with us getting Hendon Hooker like in the 5th round or something like that, because it makes too much sense. I'm right with you on that. I'm on the same thinking as you. But yeah, man, I was only going to stream till 4, but we were having too much fun, so I ended up streaming till 4:17. I'm probably about to go ahead and go right now because I need to make a lot of videos. So, man, I appreciate y'all. Again, leave a like on the stream if you haven't yet. Leave a like on the way out. What about Stetson Bennett? I like Stetson Bennett, but I can see why a lot of people wouldn't. I'm a biased Georgia Bulldog fan, but I also believe in his talent more than other people do. So I'd be down to get him like in the 7th round. They put it on YouTube too, so you can hear the run back. Okay, that's what's up. If Edmonds is off the board, my top free agent left is cornerback Jamel. I like Jamel Dean a lot as well too. Ever since you brought him up, I went and looked at him. Love Jamel Dean as well. It's between Jamel Dean and David Long at linebacker that are my favorite free agents left for me. But I'm right with you with Jamel Dean. We need to start releasing people so we have so many offensive linemen. Thanks, Rico. It's always a pleasure. Appreciate that, Trail. Appreciate that, Michael. But yeah, man, make sure y'all leave a like on the stream if you haven't yet, man. It means the world to me, and it's free for y'all, so I'd really appreciate it. Shouts out to everybody that donated, that became channel members. My boy A1, my boy Winter. Had to make sure I shouted out my boy. I almost forgot my boy Jay Willard, man. Shouts out to all of y'all that donated and all of that. Skins for Super Bowl this year, yes sir. Make sure again you leave a like on the stream on the way out. Really, really appreciate it. Make sure you like the stream before you dip up out of here. Go check out that Daron Payne live stream. Appreciate that, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you both Josephs. Okay. Yes, sir, man. I'm really excited. I have a lot more video. I would live stream for hours, but I have so many videos I need to work on. So I may live stream again later if more things happen. But I'm going to go ahead and report on this whole David Long, Austin Ekeler, and Ryan Kelly thing. I'm going to catch y'all later. Again, please leave a like on the way out. Really, really appreciate it. And shouts out to everybody that donated. My boy Luck with the donation in the clutch right before I signed off. Here's a 25K this year. Like the stream. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we're getting 25K this year. For sure. The Commanders are going to be fire, so people are going to care more. Remember, a lot of people have literally been boycotting the Commanders because Dan Snyder still owns the team. Once he sells the team, that's already better for the fan base. So I'm really excited. The channel is about to only go up. I'm about to start working on, after free agency dies down a little bit, be on the lookout for film sessions for a lot of the draft prospects in this upcoming draft, man. I got y'all, especially for my channel members. But again, appreciate the donation at the last second. Look, again, leave a like on the stream on the way out. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm going to catch y'all later, coming out with videos today, more videos, maybe 2 more. And then I may do a live stream tonight because there's a lot going on. Oh, appreciate that, Winner. Clutch donation right before I got up out of here. Appreciate that, Johnny Boat, for letting them know. Thank you, Winner, again for the donation. Thank you, everybody that donated, man. Appreciate that. I'm working, man. I really am. I'm going to catch y'all later. I'm out.